What is going on, my fellow movie nerds and geeks alike? Today I have just another haul video for you guys.
Oh, Jesus, God, no.
I tried to throw a little swerve by writing movie scoops as the title, just because, like, how many times can you write haul on all these, like, silly videos where I'm just essentially showing you what I've bought recently? Hopefully this entertains you. I like to talk about the movies at least a little bit when I'm showing you what I bought, and if you want like deep dive, introspective thoughts on each of these movies, feel free to check out like our past movie reviews or even check out our letterbox, which I always have linked down below. I tend to write a lot more than I honestly should. Let's get into it. I got a lot of weird titles this month and shit, some really fun ones that you guys might want to pick up yourselves. First up, I've got Strange Darling. Now, if you want our deep dive thoughts on this, we talked about this at length in our live video where we talked and ranked all the 2024 movies that we saw. This was one of our absolute favorites. I don't want to spoil the movie at all because this movie works best if you know nothing about it. There is a twist in this movie involving a serial killer that's got a person kidnapped that, dude, you do not see coming, and it is thrilling from start to finish. Definitely check out Strange Darling. And I also picked up the umbrella release of Troll and Troll 2. Now, I know Scream Factory had a double pack of this like ages ago that has long since been out of print. And I only had this on DVD, but I was like recently thinking like, you know what? I really want to upgrade Troll and Troll 2. Mainly Troll because I fucking love Troll. It is so good. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in it. It's just amazing. John Carl Buechler's fucking little rubber monster effects are just so amazing. And how about the lead actor's name being Harry Potter? So fucking weird, man, but it is so goofy, over the top, and fun. And of course, everyone knows Troll 2 as being like the best, worst movie of all time. Claudio Fragaso's like insane fucking movie about like these troll people who are turning unsuspecting people into plants so that way they can eat them in a town called Nilbog, which is goblin backwards. Fucking ludicrous, but I love this. These come on separate discs. So you have, you know, no diminishing quality, no compression issues. And yeah, man, I fucking love Troll. I like Troll 2 too, but Troll is the way to go. And another double pack I recently picked up is Hell of the Living Dead and Rats, Nights of Terror from Blue Underground. Now this one kind of falls into the category of things getting upgraded to 4K. So you guys all know that Severin Films recently put both of these films out on 4K. I like these movies fine. They're, you know, Italian, schlocky, cheesy B-movie goodness, but I do not need these movies on 4K. I think they're corny as all hell, and I honestly just am not going to watch them that often, but I needed to upgrade my old DVDs. And the benefit of things getting upgraded to 4K by all these companies is, do I want to pay like the $45 for the 4K of Rats? No, not really. But because they get upgraded, people tend to sell their old copies back to people like Orbit DVD, which is where I got this one. This I got for $12, which is not even a quarter of the price you'd pay for just one of these movies. Are the movies great? No, but they're a lot of schlocky fun. Now here's the detractor. They're all on one disc, which, you know, there's going to be some compression issues there. But if I'm being honest, I am not going to watch these that often. But I'm happy they got upgraded to 4K so that way I can get this on the cheap. And if you did buy them on 4K, that's awesome. You must really love those movies. I just like them. I'm not in love with them. And another similar situation, Blazing Saddles recently got upgraded to 4K. Now, do I need a movie like Blazing Saddles on 4K? Absolutely not. I love this movie. It's one of like a comedy I grew up watching and loving. Is it problematic? Abso-freaking-lutely. But when you look at it from afar, like a kid like me growing up watching this, like almost like, wow, being a racist is a fucking loser, dumbass thing to do. I always thought it was really funny. Is it problematic and just have touchy words and subject matter? Of course. But it's a movie I always grew up loving and thinking it was hilarious. I mean, Gene Wilder, one of his best films, aside from Willy Wonka, of course. I only had it on DVD, and because this one got a 4K, people were selling off their old Blu-rays for dirt cheap. So I got this one for like $5. And yeah, man, Blazing Saddles, I don't need it on 4K. Blu-ray's fine. owning it on HD is just a huge plus. I Know Who Killed Me on Blu-ray. Now, I had never seen this movie before. Back when I used to work at a movie theater, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe even longer, this was playing in the theater, and it left the theater before I could even see it. I just remember people saying that it was awful. It obviously stars Lindsay Lohan. It involves a girl who is kidnapped, disappears, and then all of a sudden shows back up, but she's claiming she's another person. It's very bizarre, but the reason I wanted to pick it up is because a YouTube guy that I follow all the time, Cinematic Void, he does a lot of stuff with Giallo films. He's always like a cinema curator at like the Videotheque in Los Angeles. He does a lot of funny videos. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. It's awesome. But he recommended this as being a Giallo adjacent film. So I was like, oh, cool. I definitely want to check it out. I will say, I didn't really enjoy it. I think it's muddled. It's very confusing. But it is a cool, like, almost homage to Giallo films. Will I revisit it often? Not really. But maybe over time, the more times I see it, maybe I'll grow a greater appreciation for it. I Know Who Killed Me. The Poughkeepsie tapes on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. I remember when this movie was coming out, it was like everyone was talking about it. People were like, holy shit, this is going to be one of the most disturbing movies that have ever been released. And honestly, is it disturbing? Yes, but maybe I've been desensitized to some crazy shit over the tenure of my life. This is disturbing and very fucking hard to watch at times. It involves like a serial killer who is kidnapping people, torturing them, and it's a rough watch. Found footage movie. The reason it is called the Poughkeepsie tapes is because the killer is videotaping all of the crimes and all the disturbing acts he's performing on all these people. The cops find this these huge cache of videotapes, and you as the viewer get to watch it almost presented in like a true crime interview mockumentary style. And honestly, I love the movie. Is it disturbing? Yes. Is it that disturbing that you can't watch it? Not really, but it's definitely one of my favorite found footage movies. And if you're into like kind of bizarro, disturbing cinema, you have to check this one out. I got this one recently during a Scream Factory sale. Definitely one you should look out for, but it's not going to be for the meek. 10 to Midnight. This is another one I picked up from Scream Factory when they did a sale recently. This one involves Charles Bronson, who I fucking love Charles Bronson, man. The Death Wish movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. But not only that, this movie is almost like kind of like very Giallo-esque in my opinion. It involves a serial killer who is stripping down naked and murdering women because he's essentially an incel who doesn't get any love from women. It's gnarly, gruesome, and just sleazy as all hell. Plus, you get Charles Bronson being Charles fucking Bronson and fucking kicking ass and taking names. You also have Wilford Brimley in this. It's just a cool serial killer movie that has a lot of nods to Giallo films, and I really love it. I don't know why I hadn't picked it up for so long, because I've watched this many, many times and just didn't own it. Definitely one to check out if you like serial killer movies, Giallo films, or just love Charles Bronson like I do. Night School from Warner Archive. Now this is another one. I had never seen this before, which honestly kind of pisses me off because I loved this movie. This one involves a person wearing like a motorcycle helmet and like motorcycle leathers and killing these girls that are attending a night school. It is very awesome, and I can't believe I'd never seen it before. This was another one that Cinematic Void had added to his list of Giallo adjacent films, mostly because it's like a murder mystery involving this motorcycle helmeted killer, much like that of Strip Nude for Your Killer or What Have They Done to Our Daughters, things of that nature. But it's a lot of fun, and it's got a cool twist in it. It goes one way, it's wild, it's so much fun, and there's like a lot of cool kills in this one involving like at an aquarium where a head goes into a fish tank. It's fucking awesome. I loved this, and I was so mad at myself for never having seen it before. An early 80s slasher meets Giallo. Definitely one to check out. Mask from Umbrella Films. This is one of my wife's favorite movies. It involves Cher and Sam Elliot, and they're just like showing the ropes to this kid who's got a facial deformity much like that of like the Elephant Man. It's just like a beautiful coming of age story, and like Sam Elliott looking as handsome as ever, Cher in her prime. It is just like a beautiful, heartfelt movie that I really like, but it's one of my wife's favorite movies, and I picked it up for her birthday, which is ironically today when I'm filming this. and I just wanted to surprise her with a nice, beautiful edition of the director's cut of the movie. So yeah, Mask on Blu-ray, one of the best. It's just an all-timer. And Barfly from 88 Films. I really enjoy this movie. It's kind of a film about Charles Bukowski's life, being like a drunkard and like person who is mistreating women. It's like a very dark, kind of like sad look at alcoholism, but it's a great movie. We obviously have Mickey Rourke and Faye Dunaway. Mickey Rourke absolutely knocks this fucking role out of the park as like this Charles Bukowski character. It is awesome. That scene when he's just drunk at the bar, you've probably seen undoubtedly, where he's just like, to all my friends, my friends. It's weird, but really awesome. This is another one of my wife's favorite movies, so I grabbed her this cool special edition. It comes with like a coaster for the movie, but it's got a cool slipcover and everything. Lots of special features, as most of these new movies do these days. Definitely want to check out if you're a fan of Bukowski's work, or just want like a kind of sad but very interesting look into his life. It's awesome.
I am here to reclaim my prizes.
Well, there she is, folks.
Hey guys! Oh, big gulps, huh? Alright. Well, see you later.
And next up, I've got The Substance on 4K. Much like Strange Darling, if you want our deep, introspective thoughts on this movie, you could check out our Best of the Year live stream we did where we ranked all the movies. This is probably my favorite movie of the entire year last year. Demi Moore is absolutely incredible. Margaret Qualley, absolutely incredible. Just an awesome new age body horror tale to check out. If you haven't seen The Substance yet, what are you waiting for? It's up for a bunch of Oscars. It's obviously a great movie that everyone can appreciate. Smile 2 on 4K. This one we didn't go to the theaters to see. I like the original Smile just fine. I think it's like a nice take on like the It Follows, The Ring kind of curse vibe. With Smile 2, I wasn't really looking forward to it all that much because I think they did all they could with the original, but this was a pretty good sequel, I gotta say. This one follows the Smile curse, inflicting its shit onto a pop singer, which is a cool, interesting take on that genre that they're going for here. It's definitely not a world you know very well. Like, we don't really know what it's like to be a famous person or a pop singer, but it's a cool take seeing this girl go through all this stuff rather than it be just like some everyday Joe like the first one did. I like what they did in the beginning where they got rid of Kyle Gallner's character. I wish they kind of went a little further with it, but still a very cool sequel, and I'm glad they changed up the storyline at least a little bit to make this one stand on its own, and what a crazy final act this one had. My Bloody Valentine 3D, the remake from 2009. This is a remake I actually really liked. I had this one on DVD that comes with like 3D glasses and all that stuff. Not that I ever really watch it because 3D movies at home never really look that great. You've probably undoubtedly seen this in tons of YouTube videos already because they put these newer slipcover movies out at Walmarts and stuff like that. You know how this story goes. It's just the miner in Valentine's Bluffs is killing a bunch of people and you don't really know why. I always really liked this remake just because it kind of flip-flops the ending of the original, which is one of the best slashers of all time. So you don't really know how the ending's going to go. Plus you get great moments with Tom Atkins in this. You got Jensen Ackles playing one of the main roles in here. It's just a fun movie, great remake, and I'm glad they changed it up enough. It kind of stands on its own, and plus like the kills and stuff are very gnarly, even though the 3D effects look kind of dated already, and you know which isn't going to look as great on like a regular TV. Still a lot of fun, and I'm happy to have it on HD finally. Dario Argento's Sleepless from Scorpion releasing, which is long since out of business, out of print. If you want my deep thoughts on this, check out our Giallo video we just did like a week or two back. I really enjoyed this one. It's one of Dario Argento's later works involving like obviously a black glove killer going around killing people. Yeah, just check out that other video if you want my deep introspective thoughts. Happy to at least own this one, although I'm sure Vinegar Syndrome or someone's going to get their hands on it sooner or later. Knife Plus Heart. Yeah, you like that? It's got like the nice dildo wiener knife as the cover on the slip cover. Fucking awesome. New age film that is taking place in the 70s. It's very Giallo inspired. A killer is killing a bunch of people on a gay film set. It's very LGBTQ forward, but it is a beautiful movie, almost like an art house Giallo. I love it so much. I think I wrote a very long, lengthy review on my Letterboxd if you want to check that out. It is just artfully shot, beautiful cinematography, and an awesome score by M83 because the director is dating a member of M83. And if you want where we ranked it on our Giallo scale, I think we talked about this one in our very first Giallo video, which was a live stream, so you could also check that out. Iced. This one I picked up during Vinegar Syndrome's subscriber week sale that they had. This is a movie that I remember renting fucking when I was a child, I think. So when we rewatched it, I was kind of remembering like little things here and there. But it's a movie that people have been talking about forever, like being like, oh my god, when is that like shot on video kind of slasher taking place in the snow movie coming out? Well, they finally put it out, and I must say, I didn't really enjoy it as much as people are saying. A lot of people are putting this one over. It involves like a kid who is bullied and just kind of like picked on, and he goes skiing on his own and he dies, and 5 years later someone is dressed in all his gear and picking them off one by one. It follows a lot of like the slasher tropes you know and love. There's some interesting kills, like a woman is electrocuted to death in a hot tub, people are stabbed with ski poles and icicles, which is cool and all. It was hard for me to get past the transfer of this because the only thing that was available is like, I think, old video. So it's very grainy, hard to see. Vinegar Syndrome did their best work, I think, to Gosser video. I wish it was a little bit better, but it's the best they could do. This isn't all it's like kind of revved up to be. It's kind of boring. If you guys like it, that's great. I thought it was kind of whatever at best. There's a lot better slasher movies out there. Granted, it's not the worst slasher movie I've seen, but people are putting this one over a little high, in my opinion. 8 Eyes on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome, another one that I got during the subscriber week sale. They put this one down low for the first time ever, price-wise. This one involves like a couple who's on their like kind of like honeymoon in Serbia. Who the fuck goes on their honeymoon to Serbia? It's kind of a cool movie. It's got like a found footage vibe to it. It's almost like Hostel meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a psychedelic twist to it. It's interesting. Very dark, very twisted, very kind of trippy, weird visuals, and lots of gross, out there, shock value moments. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It's the first Vinegar Syndrome Pictures releases. Like, Vinegar Syndrome helped fund this movie. And god, look at this release, dude. Like, with this awesome hard box case. Definitely one to check out. I think it's on Shudder. That's how I originally saw it first. But I'm happy to own the film because it's definitely one I'd like to revisit as time goes on. And another Vinegar Syndrome title is the Street Trash 2024 remake, which isn't really even a remake. It's kind of a spiritual sequel years and years later. They even make mention of the 1986 New York incident in the movie. I had no hopes for this whatsoever. I don't really like remakes all that much, save it from a few. But this was great. As a sequel many, many years later, it holds up. It's a little too funny in my opinion, but if you ever wanted to see street trash in the vein of like a hobo with a shotgun, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, you get plenty of melty moments. The Viper stuff is kind of weaponized by the rich and politicians in this movie to kill and eradicate all the homeless. Lots of, you know, social commentary, lots of nods to the original film. Does it hold a candle to the original? Not really, but it does enough to set itself apart while still feeling like a street trash film. I had a lot of fun with it. And how about that little blue guy that's making like all the dick jokes and stuff? It's absolutely insane and ludicrous. If you like the original, I think you'll at least kind of enjoy this one. But if you like a movie like Hobo with a Shotgun, this feels like a Hobo with a Shotgun kind of movie. It's over the top, delightfully colorful, gooey melt movie. Definitely one to check out. And the big one for this month, Rumpelstiltskin from Terror Vision. This one we were waiting a long time for. It was supposed to come out in December, but, you know, due to delays and all the trouble Terror Vision has been having, it got pushed back a little bit, but it finally came out, man. This is on 4K. Rumpelstiltskin, essentially a straight-to-video, schlocky, shitty movie. Look at this fucking release, man. So many bonus features, a poster, you name it. But Rumpelstiltskin's a lot of fun. It's directed by the same guy who did Leprechaun. And you know what? If you like Leprechaun, you'll like Rumpelstiltskin. It involves this creature who is like banished to this like idol, and he needs to take the firstborn of whoever resurrects him. So he's constantly, it's like a giant chase movie with this little creature chasing this woman. Give me that baby! Trying to get the baby. It's so over the top, and I can't believe the high budget budget this movie got, and this 4K looks amazing. It's just one of those movies that like you don't expect a movie like this to get this kind of like red carpet treatment, but God, did they knock it out of the park. Like the bonus features and stuff on this are so good, dude. I rarely like go front to back on bonus features, but with this one we did. It is so much fun. Me and Vicky have been saying to each other like for weeks now, give me that baby. Thank you, TerrorVision. Maybe this one will like lead to other schlocky goodness like Carnosaur or Bloody Murder getting like the special treatment like this. I'm glad this is going to find new audiences, and you know, it's a 90s straight to video cheesy B movie. God, if you like Leprechaun, you'll love Rumpelstiltskin. It's the same vein, same feeling. We finally got it, man, and look at what they did to our boy. Holy shit. Alright guys, so that's everything I've picked up over the past month or so. Lots of crazy, weird, out there titles, and lots of just random titles as well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, even though it's just a haul, but what are you gonna do? I talked about the movies at least a little bit to give some entertainment value there. And thank you so much for always watching our silly videos, even if it is something as simple as a haul. I love you all. Always remember, the horrors persist, but so do we. See you at the next video, you guys. Adios.